Welcome back to another daily recap for Wednesday, August 21, 2024. I am Sam Morton. The time is currently 8:23 a.m. Eastern. Right now, before the market opens for the day, we're looking at levels in the SPY that we'll use as trigger points to enter E-mini futures trades today. If and when price in the SPY hits a level or a zone that you see here and everything else looks good at the time, a trade will be entered in the E-mini futures, and then the active trade will be managed according to a set of rules. The goal is to pull base hits or more at each level, and a base hit is defined as 4 S&P points. So right now, about an hour or so before the opening bell, the SPY in the pre-market has been hanging around slightly under 560. You can see the pre-market price up here. There are two zones on the board today. They are bookending all the other levels. These are the areas between the dashed lines at the top and the bottom of your screen. Anywhere between these levels that define the zone can cause a reaction in price and send it back the other direction if price gets to a zone. Usually, under normal market conditions, price will find interim support or resistance at these levels and zones, depending on how price comes into the levels. So after the market closes today, we'll come back to this chart to examine the price action during the open session and talk about any E-mini futures trades that may have been triggered. Catch you on the other side. It is now after 8:30 p.m. We had a good day today, so let's take a close look. So I'll adjust the levels first. As price is coming into them, I'm going to bring it down 5 cents toward price. So here are the levels adjusted. This bottom of the zone never got hit, so I'll take this out. So we're just looking at the three levels that the spiders hit. So what would you have done, playing by the rules, to take a 4-point base hit at each of the levels? Well, the first one should be pretty obvious. They spiked above this one, came down, got a base hit pretty quickly. Same thing here. I'm talking at 560.63. That's the adjusted level. Here at 559.20, they bounced off of it. And you're not going to touch this one anymore on a short trade, or a long trade for that matter, but we can talk about that in a minute. Because you didn't get a fumble or anything. They worked. This worked fine. They sliced back up through it. That's going to happen sometimes. That's why I don't trust them for second or third hits. And after this one gets hit on here, it's satisfied for the rest of the day. And there is time that I want to look for another trade on the opposite side of the tape, so to speak. So here would have been, this was the short trade. They got above this. Do I take this for a long trade, the same level for a bounce here? Well, I want more time to elapse. It was 10:37 a.m. By the time they got past this or out above this level, they got back into it around 10:50. Not enough time here. Plus, I don't normally like doing this unless it's been a fumble, and that's just another thing altogether. So anyway, that's one base hit, two base hits, all the way up, come back down. I'm not going to take this trade again. But when they got down to this level, 558.30, that was another bounce as designed, and there's your third base hit. So 12 points if you're strictly playing by the rules, and I'm not going to mess with these levels again for the rest of the day. No reason to do that. So here are the trades I took. And so I have this paused right before they came up into 560.63, and I have an order in the system. If SPY is greater than or equal to 560.63, then, and off screen you don't see me click sell at the market for the E-minis, and I was going to sell 3. It happens pretty fast. At least some of the trailer parts do. So what I did, I've been wanting to sell two contracts or trade 2 contracts lately. And so what I thought I'd do is I'm just going to trade 3 at this level and get my 2 contracts bought at a base hit. I actually went for 5 points. So there you go. That's $500, and trail the remaining contract for as much as I could. And you will watch that exact thing happen. Took a few minutes. I'll just speed up. So you saw what happened. I got my 5 points on 2 contracts. I've got 1 remaining. I'm out of the money because I put like a 7-point trailer. I think it was 6 or 7-point trailer. And I have a target down here to get out before this next level. If they got down there first, or I would get stopped out at whatever I would get stopped out at. I'm pretty safe at this point just to watch it happen. And they went down pretty fast. And I'm gonna have to pause this at some point. So there we go. So you saw what happened. They cleared the $600. That was the target I had, but they're getting ready to hit 559.20. So because this happened pretty fast, I just bought at the market here. I wanted to buy 2, and I realized I bought 1, so I bought another one when it went below. So my average entry price is pretty much right at the level. You'll see this happen pretty fast. There you go. So I'm long 2, if that makes sense there at that level. And once again, you'll see me change this to 1 contract back. I'm going to buy back one there or sell one there, and I'm going to trail the other one, and they got me several more points. Now, I'll just pause this to tell you what I thought they would do. Because of this type of behavior and a few other things, I really wanted to be on the long side because for all I know, they're just going to keep climbing higher. So I thought it'd be kind of cool for this to go higher, and maybe I would reevaluate if they got up to that zone up there. So I was hoping to trail this up longer. They ended up stopping me out, but they shot up later. But at that point, I had a pretty good run between these two. I'll just tell you, it was $1,700 between these two little trades. Granted, it was 3 contracts and 2 contracts, but 7, 8 points or 6 points or so on each one. So I'm not going to complain. So you'll see what happens. They went up for a while, brought it up to 400 or so on this remaining contract, a pretty good number of points before they came back down and stopped me out when they really just got pretty volatile and whipped around a little bit. But, when you're trading at these levels and treating it like a process, even if you just got base hits on each one, 4 points, that's 12 points. I got just a little bit more than that, but I took sort of maybe the harder way around, the harder way of doing it. The easy thing to do is just take 4 points at each level and just be happy with it. But my trailers means that I need to just kind of pay more attention to the market and what they're doing, set some targets. This is basically what I'm saying is this is why I did not set a target up here. There we go. See, and just as well, they bounced me or they stopped me out here when they fell back down. And at this point, I just kind of kept on things and they went above. Looking at this, let me back up a little bit. Looking at this lower part of this zone, and then when they fell away really fast like this, I just thought, you know what? I'm just not going to mess around with it. It's been basically an hour, less than an hour into the trading day, and I already had a pretty amount of points and dollars in my pocket. I just stepped back. You'll see me change all these levels to this dash line in a minute just to kind of say, all right, you know what? I'm not going to trade these. I just want to keep an eye on it for a while. I ended up stopping this recording around 11:30 anyway and just completely just closed up shop and worked on other things and was happy to do it. Because why tempt fate at that point, honestly? However, if I had waited, they did come down to this next level and provided a base hit there, as you already saw. So anyway, somewhere around 11:30, I stopped recording. By the way, these other levels that are lighter blue, just for my indication to show me that these were not traded yet. These two were the ones that were traded. The darker blue, the lighter blue were not traded. But nothing really happened before I stopped recording this in the morning. So here, once again, are your 3 base hits. Short trade, long trade, long trade. That is playing by the rules, 12 very easy points. And I really hope those of you who had the levels this morning made money. If you're trading with actual capital, there's no reason you couldn't have made money. Some days are just easier than others. Today was a great example of that. And here are the 2 logs, the playing by the rules log, what we just saw, 3 base hits, 12 points. There you go. Now you can look at the totals and how everything stacks up. This is the running tally of everything from beginning of 2022 through now. And my trades, you can read the notes. I didn't trade that one level, but the 2 I got here were a pretty good run the first hour, and it was 13.5 points because between a 3 contract trade and a 2 contract trade, it was $1,700 even before commissions. And I want to show you something else. So there was one, well, not one, there's been many, but the first person who kind of opted in on my website to receive these levels in the morning happened on January 13th of this year. So if I go back, I just want to point something out. If I go back and filter this out and say, you know what, after January 13, I'm just going to filter out this played by the rules log. So starting January 13 was a Saturday. So that's when he opted in. I had his email address, started sending him the levels, and a few others started following suit after the fact. So after the 14th, so Monday, I think that was a holiday actually. So we'll just kind of go up and find, let's go to the top here. Yeah, so January 15 holiday. So 16 was the first trading day of that week, and here are the levels that were provided. Just want to point out what one could have, or this particular individual and those after the fact, he was the oldest one or the longest one, could have, if you're just trading, say, one measly little E-mini contract, here's what you had in, what is this, about 7 months, a little bit more than 7 months now. Not really even necessarily knowing the rules, but just trying to grab 4 points at each of these levels every time the SPY hits it. And you can extrapolate if you're only trading, say, micros or multiple E-minis, whatever. Here are the numbers. This is the number. So, not a bad profit and loss ratio here. You would have many more days ending in the green than ending in the red. So just thought I'd look at that because it's been quite a while, obviously, since January that I put this out and offered these levels, and I'm still offering them. So if you want them, just let me know. Put a comment down in the comment section. I can tell you how to get them. provide them every single morning. I trade them. You see my trades. Once again, here are my personal trades. This is, well, this is everything. This is all of 2022 through now. What we're just looking at here is just January 14, January 15, whatever it is, through today, just to show what this is basically. I've given you the ability to make this in the last 7 months, if you had the gumption to do so. But that's all I have today. So thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. Once again, if you want these levels, let me know. I'm happy to provide them. I do them every morning anyway for my own use, so I'll just hand them out, and you can play with them yourself. So I'll be back tomorrow morning with new levels to do this over again. Thanks for the support. Have a great rest of your day.